All right, let's dive into something really interesting out of Kentucky. It's a case study that totally flips the script on how we think about professional training. We're talking about the Louisville Beauty Academy and a model they've built that could be a huge game changer.
So, let's start with a really big question, one that kind of frames everything we're about to talk about. What if education wasn't about piling up student debt? What if it was a straight shot to a real, skilled career? I know, it sounds pretty radical, but it's actually happening right now.
Okay, so to really get why this model is such a big deal, we need to zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. The truth is, we've got a major workforce problem in America, and it's hitting places like Kentucky especially hard.
Yeah, this really lays out the hurdles we're facing. I mean, look at this list. We've got huge shortages in skilled trades. We've got adult learners who just can't afford to get new skills. And then you have people taking on tons of debt for degrees that, well, they just don't lead to a good paying job. Add in the gap between rural and city access and these super slow, complicated ways to get a license, it's just clear the whole system isn't working for a lot of folks. And this, right here, this is the core idea. The source material calls this a policy truth, and it's so important. The problem isn't that people are lazy or don't want to work. It's not some kind of cultural thing. No, it's an economic failure. The system itself is broken. And if the system is broken, you need a systemic fix.
So, with all those problems on the table, something new had to emerge. And it did. Let's meet the Louisville Beauty Academy, or LBA for short. We're going to see exactly how they're designed to tackle these problems head on. Okay, this is key. Pay attention to the words they use. LBA doesn't call itself a school in the traditional sense. They call themselves workforce infrastructure. Think about that. It's not a campus. It's like a high-speed pipeline, and its only job is to turn adults into licensed, employed, tax-paying professionals, and do it fast.
And listen, this isn't just some small local thing nobody's heard of. No way. This model is getting major attention. We're talking national awards from big players like the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the National Small Business Association. That tells you right there that this is a serious idea with some real potential. So, what does this workforce infrastructure model actually look like? How does it work? Let's break it down.
All right, their whole philosophy is built on this idea: universal access, targeted impact. So what's that mean? Well, universal access means it's for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're in the city or a rural town, or if you're the first in your family to get this kind of training. But the targeted impact part is where it gets smart. They are laser focused on knocking down the three biggest barriers: time, cost, and just how darn complicated everything is. So for the student, the deal is super clear. Number one, you get your license fast. We're talking months, not years. Number two, you're immediately employable. You can get a job or even start your own business right away. And number three, and this is the big one, you do it all with zero federal debt. No student loans. You're not even relying on Pell Grants. Let's talk about the money side of this, because it's pretty brilliant. By just completely avoiding the federal loan system, the LBA model protects everybody. The student isn't taking on a huge financial risk. And just as important, the taxpayer is protected from things like future loan defaults or big forgiveness plans. The source puts it perfectly. This is true affordability, not just moving numbers around. Now, this is an interesting ethical angle. A lot of beauty schools run on what's called a dual revenue system. Basically, they make money from your tuition and they make money from the salon services you provide as a student. You see the conflict there, right? LCBA just gets rid of that completely. There's no pressure for students to generate revenue. The focus is 100% on education, period. Okay, so it sounds great on paper, but does it actually work? What are the real results? Let's look at what this model is actually producing for students and for the state of Kentucky. This comparison really spells it out, doesn't it? It's like two different paths. Path one, the traditional way. You're looking at years of study, you're tangled up in federal loans, and honestly, you're not sure if it'll pay off. Path two, the LBA model. You're done in months, you have no federal debt, and you walk right into a job. I mean, if you're an adult trying to make a smart choice for your future, it's a pretty stark difference. And look how this all helps the state of Kentucky meet its own goals. You get more people working, you get them licensed and on the job faster, you're sparking new small businesses, you're even helping keep people in rural communities. And the best part? It strengthens the local tax base without creating more government debt. I mean, that's what you call a win-win. All right, let's zoom out for the big finish here. We've seen how this works for one industry in one state. But what does this all mean for the bigger picture?
The source material really nails it with this one powerful statement. Education does not require lifelong debt. Just think about that. It's basically saying that this deal we've all sort of accepted, that to get a good skill you have to accept decades of debt, is just not true. It's a false choice.
And that leaves us with this final, really important question to chew on. Could this super-focused, debt-free model, this workforce infrastructure, could it work for other skilled trades? Could what's happening in Kentucky be a blueprint for how we train America's workforce for the future? It's a pretty powerful thought.